I'm Dr. Flood. I am a sports doctor and a sports chiropractor, and I've been practicing since 1999. I have a Bachelor of Science in Biology, and I received my chiropractic degree at TCC in Texas. The reason I'm making this video is that as parents, we ask ourselves all the time, is it safe for my child to participate in this certain activity, or specifically a sport, whether it's baseball, basketball, golf, hockey, etc. We always ask that of ourselves as parents. I ask that too, as I have 2 young children myself. So is it safe for my kid to participate in these sports? The number one cause of an injury is a previous injury. The research shows us that we can actually prevent injuries, especially the repetitive type injuries. We base this premise on functional movements. Functional movements are how we assess whether there's dysfunction in certain areas and joints. We specifically look for stability, mobility, or motor coordination problems. And I will share how to do this and what you're looking for with different types of assessments with different sports and different children. Remember, parents, this video is to look for these patterns of dysfunction, but is not used to diagnose or treat them. So let's go next door and demonstrate the functional movements that your child should be able to perform. Hello parents, we're here today with Carolina. Carolina actually does dance and she runs. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for stability, mobility, or motor coordination issues, okay? So the test I'd like to do with Carolina is called the pelvic tilt test. So Carolina, face towards me. Okay, put your hands on the side and go ahead and tilt your pelvis forward and then tilt back. Okay, parents, what we should notice is that Carolina should be able to tilt her pelvis on its own without moving many other body parts. This would show that the core has good strength and good control. We notice a little bit with Carolina that her quadriceps muscles also go forward. So look for those kind of things, and that'll help prevent other injuries in other areas. Some of the errors in this pattern that you may see is that, go ahead and turn sideways, is that when Carolina comes forward, you could actually see her not being able to move the pelvis. It could be stuck in one position. She could be utilizing the quads, the knees, and moving down, okay? Or you could see the pelvis moving up to one side or the other. These would indicate problems with the core, either the low back or the hip area. So be aware of that. And what we're going to show now is the pelvic rotation and the upper torso rotation tests. Okay? So Carolina, face towards the camera, cross your arms in the front, and go ahead and rotate. Good. And now go ahead and rotate with the lower extremity. Good. Okay. And what you should notice is that the upper extremity should rotate independent of the lower extremity. The lower extremity should also rotate by itself. Some of the patterns that you were looking for that may be incorrect is with the upper extremity. The lower extremity may go with it. That's quite common. It should be independent of each other. The other thing you're looking for in the lower extremity is it also should be independent, should move on its own. The other thing you want to look for is make sure that the hips aren't hiking from side to side. What we're looking for in the upper extremity would be a lower cross or an upper cross, and the upper extremity would be an upper cross, and the lower extremity would be lower cross syndromes, okay? And these can lead to injuries in the shoulders, the hips, and other places. And this time we're going to look at the torso flexibility test. So Carolina, go ahead and hold your arms out to the side, and we're going to have you rotate one direction, nice and slow. Good, back to the middle, and then rotate the other side. Excellent. Put your hands down. Basically what we should be looking for here is, since we have 45 degrees of rotation in thoracic spine, and we have 60 degrees of rotation in the hip, we should be able to see the other shoulder when they're rotating, okay? And they should not be trying to rotate by moving this way or moving that way, okay? It should be a nice smooth pattern, and you should be able to see the other shoulder as you're standing there in order to have proper flexibility. Without proper flexibility, again, we can have injuries in other areas because they will have to move too much. Hello parents, we're here with McKay. McKay actually does cheer. And again, remember, what we're looking for is mobility, stability, or motor coordination issues, all right? So right now we're going to do the toe touch test with McKay. All right, McKay, face towards me. Feet together. Go ahead and reach down as far as you can. Good. And then back up. And then what we're also going to do is bend one knee, reach towards the other. Good. And come back. And again, last one. Excellent. What we're looking for in these patterns is we're looking to see if there's any restrictions, if she can't reach down. And then we actually isolate each area and to see if she can actually reach those areas, to see if the hamstrings are too tight or to see if the low back is too tight. Remember, if there's tightness in certain areas, other joints have to move excessively to make up for those lack of motion. Hello, we're here again with McKay, and what we're going to look for now is the latissimus dorsi test. We're going to look for tightness in this area. So what we do, go ahead, McKay, and back up against the wall. Okay, we're going to start out with that pelvic tilt that we learned before. Okay, so go ahead and do the pelvic tilt. Good, back up against the wall. Awesome. Thumbs are going to go straight up, and then you go all the way up as high as you can. What I do is put my hand back here, and what we look for is to see if she can stay on the wall or if she comes off. McKay comes off the wall a little bit, so she has tightness mostly in the latissimus dorsi. Go ahead and relax. So basically we need to do a lot more stretching in the low back. If we don't have the flexibility in that low back area, other areas will compensate and move too much, creating a situation for injury. We're here again with McKay, and what we're going to go through right now is a lower quarter rotation test. Okay, this is going to look for flexibility in the hips or mobility in the hips. Okay, McKay, go ahead. And what we're going to do is we have a golf club at 6-iron specifically because it has a 60-degree angle. And what we're looking for is 60 degrees internal, external rotation of the hip. Okay, McKay has a golf club here. You just need a straight object. Basically, go ahead and put your toes close. And what we're going to do is keep this around the waist where the ASIS or the pointy parts of the bone are, and we're going to hold that close as possible to the waist, okay, without moving it forward or backwards. Be careful because kids like to make that motion up by moving that bar, okay? So go ahead and rotate to the right. Okay, good. And then what we're going to do is have McKay go ahead and stand over to the side here on the other side and go ahead and rotate to the left. Excellent. 3 things you're going to notice if you line up between the golf club and the bar that they're holding. You're going to see they're going to be short of the club underneath the 60 degrees. They're going to be equal to it, or they're going to be past it. I see this one quite often in kids as being very stiff and not making the line. This is very important because other body areas will make up for that range of motion, most commonly the knee and the ankle. I see several knee injuries, and it's quite common and unfortunate right now in student athletes. So make sure that this one, when you test it, that they can actually get to that line or past it. Hello parents, we're back here again with McKay, and we're going to do the bridge with extension. Again, we're looking for mobility, stability, or motor coordination issues. All right? Okay, McKay, go ahead and put your hands together up front. Okay, the reason we do this is to get rid of the low back or latissimus dorsi, helps the person cheat. We don't want to see that. Go ahead and bend the knees, get in a bridge position, pelvis off the ground. Excellent. Now we want to extend this leg straight forward. Okay, what we should notice here is the ability to hold this position for 10 seconds without rocking in the pelvis. All right, this will look for motor coordination issues in the abdominal region as well as the gluteus maximus. Okay, go ahead and put that foot down. Go ahead and raise this foot. The other things you might see is a cramp in the hamstring. That also shows that they're using other muscles to provide stability for this area. Thank you, McKay. You can relax. Hello, parents. We're here with Diego. Diego likes playing baseball and football. Again, what we're looking for in all our functional screening is mobility, stability, and motor coordination issues. Right now, though, I want to do a screening for scoliosis. Scoliosis is lateral curvature of the spine. The reason that's important is if we can catch that early at a young age in youth, we can treat that much easier. Okay? So go ahead, Diego, face towards the back. All right, go ahead and bend forward and hunch the back up. Okay, that's it. And so basically what we're looking for, parents, is we're looking at the spine and the spinous processes to go straight up and down. Sometimes they'll curve to the sides, and what we want to do is notice that and get some treatment. If you don't see that too, it's not too obvious, go ahead and stand up, Diego. We can brace the hips and the pelvis by applying some pressure, and then go ahead and hunch forward. Good. And we can actually look there, and that will accentuate that lateral curvature. Again, we're screening for scoliosis in the spine. What we're going to perform now is the 90-90 shoulder test. Again, we're looking for mobility, stability, or motor coordination problems. Okay? Diego, go ahead and turn sideways. All right. Put your arms out to the side. Excellent. Raise the arms a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and move your hands down towards the front. Good. And then all the way back. Good. Okay, excellent. Go ahead and relax. Basically what we want to do here is we want to look to make sure that the shoulder comes past 90 degrees, okay, and it doesn't stop at 90 degrees. And that would demonstrate a problem with shoulder mobility or thoracic stability. This can lead to problems in rotator cuff tears. Hello parents, we're here with Diego again, and what we're going to look for is ankle flexibility test. Okay, again, we're looking for motor coordination, ankle stability in the joints, and mobility issues, okay? So basically with this test, we want to have the shoes and socks off. We want to be able to make sure that we see the heel, and we want to see if it rises off as he does this test. We also want to measure 4 inches to the front, okay? The way we also do that is we use a straight object at the 4-inch mark, okay? And then we'll have Diego just go ahead and come forward and see if he can touch the pole or bar, in this case a golf club. Okay, Diego, go ahead and go forward. Excellent. And you can see Diego's heel comes up a little bit, and he's just short, but not too bad, okay? So again, we're going to look for ankle motion issues, okay? Flexibility in the ankle is important because if it's not moving to the correct amount that it needs to move to, we can develop issues into the knee or into the hips. The other thing we look for with the ankle flexibility test is where the knee is as it comes forward, okay? Go ahead, Diego, go ahead and go forward again to the bar. Excellent. Okay, some of the things we might see is the knee coming to the inside of the bar, the knee coming to the outside of the bar. Okay, what we want is to come straight. Again, what we're looking for is to make sure that we have flexibility in the ankle, but if the knee deviates to either side, we're also concerned about the hip, either lacking motor coordination control or mobility. Right now we're going to do what's called the rollover test. Okay, Diego, go ahead and put your arms all the way up straight. Okay, go ahead and roll over using your arm over across your body. There you go. And then roll back. Good. And then roll towards me. Good. And then roll back. Excellent. What we look for in the upper extremity is to make sure that he's able to turn all the way over using his upper body, that he's not extending backwards and using his back muscles to cheat. He has a tendency to do that a little bit, showing that we need to work on the core and the motor coordination in the front. Okay, Diego, go ahead and try that again, but go ahead and put your arms up, and we're going to use your legs to flip over from each side to each side. Okay, go ahead and rotate. Excellent. And then back. Good. And then rotate this way. Good. And then back. Excellent. And he's able to roll over, which is good. Again, he uses his back to extend a little bit, indicating there could be some core motor coordination issues or thoracic spine motor coordination issues. But very good, Diego. Excellent. The test we're going to do now is called the squat test. This is probably the single most important functional test because it looks at the entire body as we're doing it. So basically we'll perform the test first. Go ahead and look at me, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, arms up as high as you can in the air. And then go ahead and squat down, Diego. Good, and then back up. Let's do that one more time. Go ahead and squat down and then back up, okay? And the pattern here is what we're looking for is that the shoulder's able to stay back and then we're able to squat all the way to the ground, okay? This would be another pattern. Let me perform as well. Arms up, all the way down, and then all the way up. You can see that the shoulders should be able to stay back of the ears, and we should be able to squat almost all the way down with our butt to the ground. Again, this is the single most important functional test because it tests for all of the ranges of motion as we're doing an activity. So we're looking at the shoulders, we're looking at the hips, we're looking at the knees, the ankles. Should be able to perform it similar to what I did. If there's any dysfunction patterns in those, then you can create an issue with a possible injury in one of those areas. Okay, parents, I hope you felt that this video was informative and helps relieve some of your anxiety and stress when it comes to your child in performing a sporting activity safely. So to recap, stability. Stability is very important in a joint, but we do not want the joint too stiff or too flexible. It should fall within a normal range. Also mobility. Mobility is the movement correctly within the appropriate range of motion. So we want good mobility. And then finally, motor coordination. Motor coordination deals with balance. We need good balance, but we also need good balance while performing an activity. Stay tuned for my next video, Quick Fixes for Injury Prevention in Sports. If you want more information, you can visit me at sugarlandsportswellness.com. Have fun and be safe.